Calorie deficits versus calorie surpluses. What are they and when would you use them? Well, a calorie deficit is basically when you're consuming less calories than you're burning, and this would lead to weight loss. And then on the flip side, a calorie surplus is when you're consuming more calories than you're burning. This would lead to weight gain. Now, obviously, weight loss, you'd want to use a calorie deficit when you're trying to lose weight, and ideally when you're trying to lose body fat. So by consuming enough protein alongside it and weight training, you could then ensure that the majority comes from body fat and you hold on to your muscle tissue. Whereas when you're in a calorie surplus, you're aiming ideally to build muscle or just have a surplus of energy ready for performance if you're out doing a long endurance event, for example, in the mountains at that point. So we can utilize these for essentially different sections of training or different phases throughout training. Things that we need to consider is when we're in a calorie deficit and we're trying to drop body fat, we're going to be lacking the energy to perform at a high level because we're not consuming enough calories for what we're actually burning. So we're in an energy deficit. So it's going to be very hard to perform at high levels. So you've got to make sure that you're using this calorie deficit in a smart way and using it in the right phase of training. Whereas a calorie surplus, you're going to be gaining a little bit of weight, so obviously you're not going to lose any weight from this. So if you're wanting to lose weight, then a calorie deficit is required. But this is going to be utilized when you need that surplus of energy. So around times where you're really ramping up your training, or maybe even during a taper week when you're prepping for a event, if you're going out ready for expeditions, all that sort of stuff, it'd be very beneficial to have a surplus of calories at that point. And that's the difference between calorie deficits and calorie surpluses.